Hello. I wanted to share a post from the blog Floating Book. I've shared a few of her posts, but I want to share this one and then discuss my own feelings about the post. So here we go. She shared, "The personal is political." Do you remember what the expression "in the person is political" originally meant? It meant that all those small, personal, day-to-day things we did had political impact. Where we lived, who our friends were, where we worked, and how we spent our money were all political choices, whether we liked it or not. Now, it means that working on personal problems equals political activism. The more time you spend giving or taking support or nurturing, the more politically groovy you are. As a result, our community has become politically immobile. That was from Joan Ward in Therapism and the Taming of the Lesbian Community, originally published in Sinister Wisdom, Winter 1988/89. Floating Book writes, "No matter our intentions, no matter whether we want to be politically involved and implicated, our personal choices, our personal actions, the people we choose to associate with, the jobs we hold, the ways we spend our time are all political. They all have a political impact. The way we live, our personal, is a political statement in itself, an expression of political beliefs and values. Whether that means you should choose to act differently is not so much the point. If your life doesn't align with your politics, then maybe your politics are not really yours, merely something you pretend to agree with for clout or convenience. The point is that you should be aware that everything you do has a political weight. Everything you do betrays to anyone watching your politics, your values, and your beliefs. The personal is political doesn't mean that fixing yourself equates with my political work is done. It means that we don't live in a vacuum and that all of our actions cannot be separated neatly between personal sphere and public political sphere. Everything belongs to the political sphere, whether we like it or not, and we have to take responsibility for it. We cannot pretend that what happens in our homes, what happens in our friend circles, what happens away from the public eye have no bearing on our existence as oppressed groups or on the larger dynamics at play. We can decide not to care about the political impact of our actions, but we cannot deny they have some." I think Floating Book is completely right on all of this, and I have spoken a few times on my channel about the personal is political, and especially in the ways in which feminists or women who call themselves radical feminists conduct their lives and their personal choices. Often when radical feminists have a critique about personal choices that women who call themselves radical feminists make, the WWCTRF will counter that with, well, that's just a personal choice for me, or that's just the way I feel comfortable. And it's like, okay, and so what? I've said in another video that if you're feeling personally about a feminist critique, you need to look at it with a political or feminist lens. Feminist critiques on things like performing femininity and beauty, partnering with men, capitulating to the trans cult, engaging in racist behavior, engaging in bullying. These things, more so the femininity, the beauty culture, the partnering with men stuff, those are personal choices, but they have major political implication for all women. Upholding the patriarchy in so many ways is a personal choice, and women will defend it with claims that they like it, it makes them feel more comfortable, it's how they want to live their life. They'll make those claims and call themselves radical feminists whilst not having any kind of a lens for radical feminism and the way that it impacts the class of women. Your personal choices are not your own. They reflect on all women, on the class of all women, and they hinder or can hinder the liberation of all women. One woman's action, one single woman's actions, personal choices, can hold an entire class of women back. The more women who make the personal choice to act in a radical feminist and political manner, the better all women are going to be. And radical feminism requires a lot of sacrifice, personally, and a lot of deep self-reflection on whether or not you want to live your values. Saying that you believe in something is not enough. Agreeing with certain pillars of a movement or a value system, but living in a different way that doesn't reflect those apparent beliefs is not enough. The personal is so political, and your personal choices reflect where you are on that political spectrum. They reflect what kind of political person you are. They reflect whether or not you're an ally or a trustworthy person in this movement. And if your personal behaviors aren't reflecting what you claim your political beliefs to be, it's incredibly hypocritical and incredibly detrimental to women as a class. So no, things that you choose to do are not excusable and are not okay because it's just a personal choice in your private life. No, the personal is political. Your personal choices impact all women, and you have to look at your life and your choices and your actions and your behaviors with the radical feminist political lens on whether or not it is beneficial and helpful to not only liberating all women, but yourself. If you're caught up in the patriarchal personal choices and deciding that it's better for you because it makes things easier, you're not an ally to women. You're not. It's hard being a radical feminist, and it should be. It should challenge you. It should make you think critically, think deeper, and test you. But if you believe something to be true, and you believe in the cause, and you believe in what you think it can achieve, your personal choices need to reflect that. They need to. They must.